Well, England began the third day of the first Test match at Edgbaston at 83 for 7 with the not-out batsman Derek Underwood, the night watchman, and Chris Old. With the bookmakers, they were 8 to 1 against, avoiding the follow-on, and they needed another 77 runs to do that. Well, the pitch looked as though it had dried out pretty well, and certainly in the first couple of overs, there was nothing untoward from the ball. Perhaps a little bit of movement, but no more than you'd expect at this stage of the match. The third over of the day was bowled by Dennis Lillee to night watchman Derek Underwood.
What a good delivery that was. He put a bit more into that one, and you could see him cut the fingers over the top of the ball there. Big leg cutter. It was just a fraction too short, if anything, but a very good delivery. No great bounce there. Marsh took that at knee height, so it wasn't climbing as it went past Underwood. Oh, that's beautifully bowled. I think it would have missed leg stump. It was a very good delivery, though. I think probably Dennis knows it would have missed, too. It was a very good piece of bowling. The big leg cut of the ball before, and that one then darting back at Underwood. Yes, I think that would have just missed leg stump. Oh, well bowled. My word, that's a nice piece of bowling from Lillee. 2 great deliveries earlier in the over, and now 87 has struck again, 7 wickets down. The Australians' lucky number, and certainly lucky for Dennis Lillee. A fine piece of bowling to give him his 4th wicket. Underwood out to bowl Lillee for 10. 87 for 8 England, chasing Australia's 359. Now that was a big in-cutter. It started off landing outside off stump, and it came between bat and pad. Fair amount of room there given by Derek Underwood. His left foot was nowhere near the line, but it was a very good delivery. We're in the 44th over now. That'll be bowled by Max Walker from the City end. Chris Old is the batsman. Good shot. Beautifully picked up. Slow outfield, but it'll still go for 4. Nice firm stroke that from Old. There was nothing loose about the shot. He wasn't just hitting away. He picked it up nicely from around about middle and leg. Oh, it's a good Yorker. Indeed, it is. Not at all sure that John Snow didn't get a touch to that. Doesn't look particularly happy at the moment. There was a sound, whether or not he was hitting the ground or his pad or finding the edge, we don't know, but he is the 9th wicket down with the total at 97. LBW to Dennis Lillee, who has now taken his 5th wicket in the innings. It was a good Yorker. Snow getting down a little bit across the ball. Absolutely plumb in front. A little bit of byplay going on out there. Lillee not happy, but I think Arnold was probably beaten by the pace there. Would have been a noise, and certainly there's a loud shout.
This pitch actually not playing anything like as badly as last night. England don't look like saving this follow-on, of course. Well, that's 4 runs for Mr. Old. And 100 up. Big cheer for the Yorkshire left-hander. Still a long way to go. 59 runs needed to save the follow-on. I'm sure the bookmakers aren't offering only 8 to 1. It's more like 80 to 1.
And he's under that, and it's safely caught. Greg Chappell is the man ending the innings. 101, England all out. Chris Old caught Greg Chappell, bowled Walker to give Walker his 5th wicket. Well, that's the sad sight for all England cricket followers. The innings wrapped up for 101. That is the lowest score ever at Edgbaston by an England side.
Underwood 10, Old 13, Snow 0, and Arnold remaining not out 0. And really the story of the morning was the Australian bowling. They took over from where they'd left off yesterday. Splendid bowling again by Dennis Lillee. They really are marvellous test match figures. 5 for 15 in 15 overs. Walker, the other bowler used, 17.3 overs, 5 maidens, 5 for 48. Well, Ian Chappell, of course, enforced the follow-on. There was never any question that he'd do that. No great movement in the pitch for the bowlers this morning. Lillee bowled well, but it wasn't the pitch that got him his wickets. It was just the fact that he bowled well against the tail enders. So England really hoping now for a great fight back. They've done it before, and this was a moment when Mike Denness must be hoping that he could inspire them into doing it again. We join play now in the third over. It's Dennis Lillee. He's bowling from the pavilion end, and John Edridge, the England opener, is batting.
It's wide, nicely placed. So Amos still looking to get off the mark. Does it convincingly there. Right over the top of it, pushes it away comfortably on their side. Ross Edridge chasing it. And there's 2 runs to Dennis Amos. So both England batsmen away now. 4 to Edridge, 2 to Amos. And it's a particularly good ball. The first one that's done anything at all out of the ordinary, but Max Walker getting that one to climb off a length. Everything has come through fairly evenly prior to this one. That one fairly skimming, and you can see no contact there made by Amos, but Marsh diving forward, and a couple of optimistic shouts from the slip fielders. Took a nasty one there. Didn't really get as high. Finally decided he's got to give it a rub, and I think that was a pretty painful rap he got. Could have been a little bit more trouble than he wants people to know. Yes, there he is. I thought it was really a nasty one right on the elbow bone. And just see exactly how that happened. Neither really did one thing the other. Neither ducked or tried to play it. And see that took it. A very nasty crack there. So it's not been a happy test match so far for Dennis Amos. Got a really nasty one in the first innings from Lillee, which lifted off a length. Caught it short leg as skipper Mike Denness coming down to see him, and new batsman Keith Fletcher coming out to replace him. So for the moment anyway, that goes down in the book as retired hurt with a score on 2. In fairness, he probably pulled the bat away there at the last minute.
If there is a doctor on the ground, would he please go at once to the English dressing room?
It's Walker to Edridge. And that's surely it. Yes, caught behind. Wasn't a very good shot. Nothing in the pitch there to worry John Edridge. Just followed a ball swinging away from him, and Marsh taking the catch low down at slip. So Amos back in the pavilion, retired hurt. John Edridge following him now, caught behind off the bowling of Walker. First English wicket going down, the score still on a miserable 7 runs, and a long, long way from the required margin there to make Australia bat again. So Dennis facing Lillee, 4 slips, 2 gullies in. They're very close. And, Dennis Lillee very dissatisfied having that appeal turned down. Arthur Fagg, easily the best position to judge. But there we are, one can't see a wicket at all, but I would have thought umpire Fagg, considering that that might have gone on to miss leg stump. There's the retaliation, so often comes from the quick bowler. Really let that one go, dug it in. Of course, it wasn't England captain's fault that the umpire didn't give him out. And Mike Dennis there on trial in every respect. Nominated as captain just for this one test match. Really needs some runs now. He's off the mark there, nicely pushed away through the short legs. Turner chasing away. Should come back for 3. So Mike Dennis will be pleased there to get off the mark. 3 runs to him. England score moving on to 12 for 1.
It's a better looking stroke from Dennis. Something for the spectators to cheer about there. A good firm stroke from the England captain. Way past covers left hand. They've picked up 2 more there. Edwards again as the fieldsman. Lovely throw from Ross Edwards. And it's to be Jeff Thompson to bowl from the pavilion end. Thompson not given the new ball today. Walker gaining preference there. A sensible move from Chappell after Thompson's problems yesterday with the swing. It's always been a school of thought that he's a better bowler after a couple of overs have been bowled, so that he doesn't have to use the slippery ball. Certainly when he bowled from the same end yesterday, bowled with great fire and posed many problems for the England batsmen. Dennis. It's exactly the same field for Jeff Thompson as the one used by Lillee. No man at third man or at fine leg. Walker has come up to position at wide leg slip. Oh, what a good delivery. A little bit slower, and it looked to me as though he deliberately bowled a quickish off break. Certainly a slower ball. Mike Dennis out for 8, bowled by Jeff Thompson, and I fear that that may be Mike Dennis's last innings as captain of England. 18 for 2 as Dennis leaves the field, and here's how it happened. I'm sure that was a slower delivery from Thompson, cutting the fingers under the ball. It just got through the gap. It might even have flicked the outside of the pad. Knocked back the off stump. Dennis leaves the field, 18 for 2. England having been dismissed for 101 in their first innings in reply to Australia's 359.
Two Essex players there. 21-year-old Graham Gooch. He's a big burly fella, he's a relaxed man, and he's been playing high-class cricket in his age group for a long time. He was in the sort of 13 and 14-year-old top teams, and he's under 19 for England, and now at 21 he's already in the England side. He's got enormous amount of ability, this man, and I think everybody is hoping for great things from him. It doesn't all happen at once usually with young players like this, but given a bit of a run in this England side, I think we'll have a lot of fun out of this man. He hits the ball beautifully. He's a beautiful timer. Very strong. And I think you'll note from there that really the time that he had to play that, he was really in lots of time, and that is the mark of the class player. No rush and hurry about playing that. He was there in plenty of time.
Oh, what a good delivery. My word, that was a good piece of bowling. Superb ball from Thompson, very fast and a very, very big leg cutter. And I don't think there are very many batsmen around who could have done much about that. He did pretty well to get an outside edge to it. A very sad moment for Graham Gooch, a pair in his first Test match. There was nothing at all he could do about that. Didn't play it badly. Let's have another look at it. Just watch the movement of his feet. He's up there with the bat, and this is a big leg cutter. He didn't play that bad. The bat was very straight, and my word, that was a good ball. England need 258 to make Australia bat again. Chappell is the fieldsman. And it's leg byes. 3 leg byes onto the total. Ian Chappell must be very happy at the moment. He's been put into bat. Struggled for a time after good opening partnership between Turner and McCosker. Then he himself batted well. A bit of a slump in the middle of the innings, a great fight back by Edwards and Marsh, and now England really in the toils at 26 for 3. With 4 runs, no real need to run for that. Full toss from Jeff Thompson there, brings a little bit of joy for the spectators and for Tony Greig.
And flushed over the top of slips there by Fletcher. That'll go away for 4 runs. It's Fletcher now on 18, facing Max Walker. That's beat the short leg again, hurrying away to the boundary. No men back, and anything beating these close fielders invariably will go through to the ropes. Some consecutive boundaries there. A better shot, the second one from Fletcher. Got over it well, played it down. Just the odd umbrella there. It's nothing more than a very faint drizzle at the moment. Chase there for Alan Turner, one of 2 short legs in attendance, so a fair flurry of runs then from England, and the spectators able to keep a little warmer. 50 coming up, 11 runs off that over, and Fletcher moving on to 25. Max Walker now, for the first time, has moved one of his close catches out. He's got a cover point and an extra cover, just 3 slips in a gully. Ball indeed. Caught behind, a fine ball there, came late, and another good catch by Rodney Marsh. Really had an excellent match there, missed very little at all behind And those catches off the inside edge, they're the most difficult ones of all. So yet another failure for an England batsman. It's Tony Greig making his way back now. 52 for 4 England, Greig out for 7.
Well, England again in desperate trouble, but some help was in sight. Steady rain fell and play was delayed for just under 2 hours. Tea was taken early, and then when the umpires came out, we had Alan Oakman, the Warwickshire coach, accompanying umpire Arthur Fagg. Dickie Bird has injured his back and may take no further part in the game.
Respectable crowd taking cover underneath the stand. It's nicely played. Flipped it down well, flicked away to a deep long leg going right underneath the big scoreboard there. Well, there's no way in which that wouldn't have been 4 earlier in the day. So Alan Knott collects 3, moves on to 4. The England score on to 60. Oh, well, that was really a fine bouncer. Actually did well to take evasive action, but he had to be really sharp then. Oh, it's a fine shot. Got short, hammered away through the offside before. They really picked up that one. So as good a shot as we've seen by any Englishman in this Test match to date. Oh, that's another good shot. That's 4 runs. Slower ball there from Lillee, half volley in the off stump. Beautifully tucked away by Fletcher. That's lofted high in the air, nobody down there at long leg. So runs coming much more freely now for England. Not picking that up quite nicely, lofting it away to the vacant space down at deep long leg. He collects 4 for it. Growing in confidence there the whole time and realising, I think, possibly that the rain has had no detrimental effect on this pitch. It's played quite reasonably and quite easily since the players came out about 35 minutes ago. And having said that, of course, he plays quite an uncatchable shot, slips it over the top of the 4 slips, goes to 50. Every now and again, we've seen that kind of shot come in from Keith Fletcher, a little streaky shot. He's got away with it, but a brave fight then by the Essex captain, making 50 out of 88. He's been out there for 2 hours, applauded by the opposition. He's included 6 fours in it. So that's the 22nd time he's reached 50 in Test match cricket.
Keith Fletcher now. And that is a comfortable catch, but it was almost put down by Walters. Nothing difficult about the catch. It's the 5th wicket to go down. And after a very good innings, Fletcher is out. Walters juggling it, picking it up the 2nd time. Although it was quite a straightforward catch off Dennis Lillee. So Lillee has broken through again with rather an indifferent stroke this time from Keith Fletcher, who's been playing pretty well. Well, that really is a desperate situation for England. Well, there was no more play this afternoon. The umpires deciding that the game could be abandoned at 6:20. They didn't bother to invoke the law that allows them to go on to 7:30, and England finished at 93 for 5. Amos retired hurt 2, Will bat at the fall of the next wicket. Edrich out for 5, Dinesh 8, a miserable match for the England captain. Gooch, Naught, got a pair. Tony Greig 7, not out 10, Old not out 2, 93 for 5, and they need 165, I'm afraid, to make Australia bat again, and that's a very formidable task.